So Bishop Twillier knew what he was doing way back, you see. And then I had a number of not only my own home parish priest, who was a great influence on me, but I had a number of very, very Anglo-Catholic Episcopal priests, older priests who were a big influence on me as well. Mm-hmm. And none of them lived long enough to cross over with us. Uh-huh. I call them the generation of Moses, because Moses didn't cross,
Yes. Yes.
But they got us to the river. All these, and a lot of them, I look back at that now and I think, gosh, that, it's been. You look back and you look into the sort of the mist of the past, and I don't think some of them even realized what was actually happening.
Oh.
They were being faithful to what they thought the church was, still practicing what's called the branch theory, I mentioned.
Yes.
But they knew enough, and they were faithful enough to work with us young guys, and we were coming forward, and the way that movement finally encapsulated itself was that in the Diocese of Fort Worth, the Episcopal Diocese of Fort Worth, since 1987, that diocese has produced 36 Catholic priests. This is an Episcopal diocese.
Yes.
36 priests, all right, are now Catholic priests. That's more than some Catholic dioceses.
Yes.
Since 1987.
Wow.
They have made, because that was a hotbed, and there were hotbeds all over the world of Anglo-Catholics who were wanting to, and we were in dialogue for years with the Vatican.
Yes.
And they were working with us. I was working with a group of clergy in Fort Worth. There were 10 of us in all. We even went to Rome, and we had meetings, and this went on over several years until finally, at one of those meetings, I remember one of the cardinals said, "I think it's time for you all to go ahead and make your formal request to the Holy Father."
Wow.
And so the group in Fort Worth, and there were others around the country and the world that were doing this.
Yes.
And our group made a very, very formal request to help us come into the Catholic Church. And because of those requests, 2006, 2007, all the way up, well, really earlier than that, 2004, these requests were being formulated. Benedict, who was, Ratzinger, who was then Pope Benedict, who had a tremendous respect for English Catholicism and the English culture, okay?
Yes.
And understood us, very well. He promulgated what's called now Anglicanorum Cedibus, groups of Anglicans. That's what it means in Latin. Anglicanorum Cedibus being groups. He allowed that in 2009 as a response to our wanting to come into the Catholic Church. And the way we requested it was, I used the illustration. We had hat in hand. We had no conditions. Please take us. And we were ready to become lay people in the Catholic Church. It not be ordained.
Really?
And many of our guys we all walked away from our living. And some Episcopal priests are fairly well paid, And I'm not trying to make anybody feel sorry for us, but there was a lot of sacrifice that took place.
Wow.
I walked away from a lot. We had to sell our house. I worked in the ordinariate in the early days. I wasn't paid for like 18 months. And so I made a living by helping in parishes and in the chancery. And, I said masses and did things. And so it was called, the stole fees, if you will, kind of helped support us. And we lived on our savings until I told you we started with pretty much nothing in the ordinariate. But the transition was miraculous, and we would none of us would do it any other way. We have no regrets, and I get up every morning, and I know my colleagues, priests, and around the ordinariate get up every morning and thank God that we're Catholics, because it was a hard journey, but it was a glorious journey.